and welcome back to Paddling Pool 224. I am Pat, here with the boy, the myth, the legend. It's Chili Boy. How are you doing?
Welcome everybody. Thank you, Pat. I'm very happy to be here with you all. It's been chaos tonight, but in the best way possible and in the way we expect from the Splatoon 3 community. So yeah, very happy to be here. Very excited to see that we've got Rugrats as well as one of the first team that we're gonna be casting for this portion of the evening. Do we need to give a quick shout out to our dear commentators who have just left their set as well, because they got so excitable they forgot to plug themselves.
Yes, so you can find Zari at SPL Zarini on Twitter, and you can find her as just Zarini on Twitch, and also you can find Spy at Dr. Spylol on Twitter. He doesn't play League of Legends, but he just likes to have fun. And I think that was it.
Indeed. And I'm really proud of you, Spy, for not eating on stream today. That's really good character development, we call that. So yeah, very well done. You're learning. Looking at compositions here, seeing ballpoint issues. But which blaster is that the Rugrats are bringing out? Is that vanilla?
That's not the Rugrats. I think it's on Hazard. That's a vanilla blaster.
Oh, okay. We need a quick brownie, quick color swap.
And so we're starting, by the way, it's Brinewater clams. And
nice
and chaotic.
Yeah, so seeing a crab tank, not surprising at all. Cramp very strong on this map, can kind of just very comfortably sit on the ramp area and rain absolute havoc on mid, but Clam Blitz, much harder kind of mode to cheese than what we sometimes see in kind of splat zones, and yeah, it looks like Rugrats on the offense early here, but we'll see if they can capitalise.
Yeah, it looks like Rugrats are maintaining the attack. They have a very good, very well sustained push, and the crab tank is going to allow the rest of the team to really put as many clams as they want, but okay, they're taking their time to get the clams to the basket, and that's not going to be much of a score today.
Yeah, no, that's a bit sad, that, because they set up really well in terms of like positioning and numbers to get a much bigger push there. But that is the challenge sometimes people do experience with clams, is it's not just the objective of getting a positional advantage, getting the numbers advantage, but you've got to be collecting those clams, you've got to be farming them and doing what you can to extend that lead. So even though they had good slays there and good picks, Rugrats, the objective kind of was a bit secondary, and that means that push was a lot less than you would otherwise have expected.
Yeah, they had full control of the basket area. They could have scored so much, but having to go back to get the clams and not having like just one clam to keep it open means you have so much more constraints on your push, and that's what ended it for Rugrats. Now Hazard, they could have been in a much tougher situation, but they're in a good spot to maybe come back, and right now it's a 2v2 with that pick. And Rugrats, it looks like they are back on the attack, back ready to get in, and that Nautilus is, well, that's not a Nautilus, yes, that's a Nautilus, is getting the pick and getting the clams in. Fine, Rugrats, they all have clams right now on themselves, so they're all able to really get that push going, and that's Super Bowl. If they manage to get it in, that's a very good lead for Rugrats now.
There we go. They heard the commentators. Whoa. Wow, they definitely heard the commentators lecturing them and just silenced us, Pat, there, because that much better push. Still going. Only a couple of clams left, but you can see someone's going back to farm more. The numbers advantage is fantastic this time. They managed to get a full wipe out there. They're still winning the engagements while pushing, which is very challenging to do. So Rugrats here, absolutely hearing our critique of their initial push and addressing all of the flaws to have a really solid showing there. Shutting Hazard down on that second push. Very strong start from them.
Yeah, it's like Rugrats, their first push was an opportunity, like they were not ready to have it. They didn't have the clams ready, but hey, you give us the space, so we might as well move forward, and then they didn't know what to do with that space. And that second push, like everything was going on at the exact right time for Rugrats, both getting the clams and getting the picks and getting the space, like everything was just like perfectly done by Rugrats, and that was a very good game one for them. But it's not the end of it.
Yeah, Rugrats were in the most recent Triton Cup, and they had a very strong showing there as well. So seed-wise, Rugrats are the favourites here, but Hazard have done very well. And Hazard, to their credit, they did stop the first push, which also looked very strong to start with, and made a very quick recovery. So can definitely see potential in Hazard, and we'll see if they can turn it around here. Single elimination doesn't give people many chances, but Splat Zones on Umami, very different environment. 2 zones to work with, much harder to kind of get that flat knockout. So we'll see kind of what they bring to the table. Do you anticipate any kind of composition changes here, Pat, compared to what they were just running?
I'm not so sure. Like those 2 maps and modes are a bit different, and I feel like Hazard is no stranger to comebacks. They have like a lot under the belts, and we've seen them do very well in paddling pool and other tournaments recently. So I expect them to come back with a vengeance, whether they change comp or not.
Let's see, very different. Oh no, we're getting a bit of a Ninty netcode here. Are we all right? Are we good to go?
Good.
Looks like we're getting to very maintaining their composition, so maintaining the kind of blaster pick double crab, which it also makes a lot of sense here.
Yeah, and I love to see the Julies getting some love. Like these past few weeks, people have been using the Julies more and more, and having like a more offensive option for the crab tank, and having this playstyle be more aggressive. Even still, like we still need a crab tank, so that's like perfect pick, I think. And there's a lot of players that are really pushing the weapons and showing its potential.
Definitely, it feels like it's had a bit more chance to shine after the Splash-O-Matic has been brought down a peg as well. But yeah, very good weapon. Nice to see more of it in the meta. Hazard here, much stronger start. I mean, you blink and they took the zone, but they're holding it. I thought that might have just been a bit of a cheesy cat based on positioning, but no, they've got numbers. Look how deep they are here. Rugrats have already blown a tactical for an initial recap, and they haven't really made much progress. So we're looking at a very different team here. Pat, looks like Hazard are living up to your kind of description.
Yeah, and we saw like Kirby with a blaster really creating so much havoc and delaying every kind of pushback. And right now, the crab tank just holding everybody away. That's a wipeout on that game too, commandingly going towards Hazard.
I took 2 seconds to scold Spy in the chat, and it was over.
As you should.
Very important. I've got to balance my responsibilities here on commentary, but that was a incredible turnaround. I mean, that is how you shrug off a defeat game 1. You know, a team with maybe less experience than Hazard maybe would have let that quite strong loss on game 1 get to them and not come into game 2 with much confidence. But they came out swinging and responded with kind of equal force, really. So we're going to get a game 3. I'm so sorry, Zari, because I know you were really looking for a game 3 for quite a while that you didn't get, and we get one straight away. But let's just say this one's in your honor as we go into Eeltail Alley. And Eeltail Alley Rainmaker I have not seen in a tournament setting for quite a while.
Yeah, and I feel like Hazard with a double crab comp and their inkjet, they're going to enjoy that map mode very much.
Oh yeah, that is textbook here. I'd be surprised if we saw many changes. Best of 3 at this stage in the tournament, so this is the decider. This is tournament point for both teams. They've got everything to fight for as they play this out here. No compositional changes from Hazard nor on Rugrats, so they both have a lot of confidence in what they're running. They've both shown their compositions can work really well, but we'll see how it plays out here in a setting that we just don't get to see as often.
Yeah, Rugrats, they need to get in. They need to get as many coolers as they can, and they need to be on the offensive as much as possible. Because crab tanks and inkjets on this map mode are so powerful. And look at that Hazard. The moment they have some space, some leeway, and they can do things are going to go their way. And Rugrats cannot let the bleeding go. They need to stop everything now, and they need to do it with splats.
They do, and that is what they've been really struggling with, it feels like, last game. And here, look, the Doolies on an absolute tear, showcasing why they are very good main weapon worthy of respect. Are they going to get this Rainmaker before it resets to mid? They're in another engagement. They do not, so they've managed to keep Rugrats at bay, but that is going to stall their progress very slightly. But again, Hazard coming out absolutely swinging. And even though we saw the tactical go up very early for Rugrats, most of the team didn't get to pick it up before they got splatted. So Rugrats have been pushed very, very far back, and we're only a minute in here.
Yeah, and finally Rugrats setting foot on the bridge again, and they're looking to just get some space to get into mid. It looks like, okay, and Hazard is back at it. They have 2 players down. It's Crab versus Crab right now. And like, as I said, like, they need this tactical to get back in, because this is going to be a very, very deadly game.
Yeah, we're thinking about the amount of crabs here. It is a bit reminiscent of a couple of patches ago, Meta, but I think, you know, the maps have lent themselves to crab here in a way that does still make a lot of sense. This is Rugrats' best chance to push so far. 2 players down, good control of the map. That's a 3rd player down with a bit of a stagger. That's a staggered delayed wipe, essentially. So Rugrats now, even in the score, positional advantage and map control heavily in their favour, and they've got the tri-strike here to cover. But they are going to get shut down before they get over the grates, which is the big choke point about pushing in that direction. So Hazard have defended really well here, and they need to get a few picks now so that they can start reclaiming some of mid.
Yes, some is reclaimed. Rugrats has a lead, but such a small lead, and we are not even halfway through the game. Hazard still has lots of opportunities to get in, but right now both teams are done with the checkpoint, and that means any team that gets a good advantage, that gets a few good picks, could score a lot of points very, very fast.
Yeah, checkpointless Rainmaker is where one mistake can cost you absolutely everything. But look at that map. That is an incredibly blue map. So Rugrats have not let their one opportunity to get in there go to waste. It feels like they've managed to keep the pressure on. They've lost their Nautilus right now, but they're still moving around here, using the Rainmaker offensively, bobbing and weaving around the crab tank.
Waiting.
Yeah, and I think very right to do so. 2 players down now. This is their chance. Are they going to make a move? They are beginning to progress forward. A masterclass in patient, objective gameplay, and the blaster, which was the last obstacle, has been slain. And is this going to be the day? Wow! What a masterclass in patient aggression there.
What a comeback! Like, Hazard had such a good opening, such a good first push, and then Rugrats just turned it upside down, completely won it. Like, and what a push with the Rainmaker! It felt like they were doing nothing for 20 seconds, and then suddenly everything was going their way, and they had the KO.
And it must have been quite hard to hold the nerve, especially as the Rainmaker, when a crab tank is lobbing shots at you. But I think just that recognition that any push at that stage wouldn't have made much progress, and instead they've gambled a bit more on holding off and waiting for that right opportunity. And as soon as they've got that, they just took full advantage. That was really, really solid. Yeah, brilliant first game for us to be on stream and commentate, and I think really GG's to Hazard as well. They handled that game too beautifully under the circumstances, but yeah, it just wasn't to be on this occasion.
Yep, but this is now single elimination. That means Hazard is going home and Rugrats are advancing to the next round of paddling pool, and we will see the next round, probably different team, right after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
See you soon, folks.